welcome you to Stitch Roadies today. It is still in the hazardous level of smoke in our area, and it is definitely getting a little tiresome. Both G and I woke up today with headaches and attitudes, and we just have to deal. We have to buckle up and dig in, as my friend Dale tells me. Some days are harder to dig in than others, but being here with you is always lifts my spirits. I just have a little bit to share with you today. I was especially proud of a finish. I have a works in progress to share with you, some happy mail, and just wanted to spend a few moments with you here. It is challenging these days, and I am so grateful for stitching. I can't tell you. There is something about cross-stitching that really soothes the soul, and I just can't seem to get enough of it these days. And I hope that I continue in my post-corona life, whenever that will be, let's see, 2022, that I won't be drowning in whips, but I'll be have all this wall. Oops. What does it mean when it says that? Potential spam? I would say real spam. Potential spam. Like, should I answer it and see if it really is spam? And geez, those phone calls give spam in a can a bad name, don't they? But what I was saying was, maybe in my post-corona life, this wall will be filled with samplers and cross-stitch and all kinds of fun things. Yeah, you can tell I'm kind of like... But yesterday was a bright spot. I had a Zoom meetup, and the reason I am somewhat... I took a shower this morning, and can you smell that cleanness? Yeah, I went to the mailbox. I had a used, one of G's old N95 masks he had out in the garage for painting. I took that mask. It only had his germs in it, and I wore that to the mailbox because I was bound and determined to get the mail. And then when I got home, I took my shower because I want to get the smoke smell off of me. So the reason I'm somewhat presentable today is because of Audrey Stitchy Witch 42 on Flosstube. On the Floss meetup, when she showed up, she was all decked out, really pretty, and I was sitting there in basically my lounge jammies, and I thought maybe I should take a note from this and at least one day look presentable. So here I am. But let me tell you, she sent me some, there's not going to be any rhyme or reason or order to this, but she sent me some stitchy kindness that blew me away. She is a true artist, and if you go on her Instagram feed, sometimes she'll post things that she is selling, and you can say me too, me, but I have to show you what she sent. Now, this is not anything that I would be doing, so it's especially fun. She does, not only is she a cross-stitcher extraordinaire, she does junk journaling, If you've never heard of that, you can go to YouTube, and there's a whole community of junk journalers. But she does junk journaling, and she made this tag, this hanging tag, and I can't wait to find the perfect spot to hang it. It reminds me of the what was that festival, the punk festival that I went to in Tucson earlier this year. I did a video on Quilt Roadies about it. It kind of reminds me of that, but it's this card that you can hang. Oh, it says, "Thank you for being a friend." Oh, I hear I hear the Golden Girls. Isn't that amazing? It's like a collage it's a dimensional collage with all kinds of fun things. And then look at this. Isn't that cool? That is the coolest. So you'll have to go on her Instagram site. Thank you so much, Audrey. This is so awesome. I have to find the perfect spot for it. I love that that little card comes out. I don't want it to get bent. I also got some haul. That's the thing. You go on the internet and you gotta get haul. And you know, Luminous Fiber Arts. I'll link their site below. But oh my gosh, I just love all of her stuff. I mean, it's like, this is Misty Purcell, and when I saw her post this on her Flosstube, I was like, oh yes, I am so doing that. I'm so doing that. Look at this. Do you get that I'm getting a Halloween vibe? I'm getting kind of depressed about Halloween already because I was telling the girls on Zoom yesterday, I have been cultivating the children of this town since the day I moved into this house. In previous homes, in one of our homes, I swear you'd have 1,000 kids, you know. You had to buy those giant bags from Costco. In this house, when we first moved in, the first year, I had like 8 kids, and I was like, what the frickin's going on here? And so the next year, I bought big candy bars, a box of them from Costco. And every time Enzo and I answered the door, and they would go, ooh, I put that and I said, tell your friends, I'll be here next year. Well, I wonder what their parents would have thought. Tell your friends where you got this candy. Next year, it'll be better. And so each year, I have been increasing my base. And sure, having Enzo dress up for for Halloween was a big draw. But you know, I was up to over, and I know for some of you this is like, well, I know that 911 Stitcher, you know, she gets thousands of kids, but you know, I was well up over 50, you know, by sheer word of mouth. I decorate the outside, I dress up, you know, and now we're having a COVID Halloween. What does that mean? Do I even buy candy? Am I going to be the one sitting in the doorway, stuffing my face with bad chocolate? Oh, man. So to make myself feel better, I bought this chart from Misty Purcell at Luminous Fiber Arts. And then I had to, you know, things can't travel alone. I don't know who was the first person to say that on Flosstube, but thank you very much. So I also did this one. Gathering berries. I love that this piece here, she divided up the motifs into 3 tags there. And so then I just went ahead and kitted it up. The Halloween one I went ahead and kitted up. And I couldn't decide on the count, you know. I'm basically a 32 count girl, but she does a lot of her stuff on 40 count. And I thought, now that I'm doing this 40 count piece consistently, I'm getting pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. And I love her dyed fabric. Her dyed fabric is awesome. And this particular one, which is called Macchiato. Yeah, I really like that Macchiato. Yeah, isn't that pretty? And then I got the floss. You can't really see the floss, but it's gray and orange. There it is, gray and orange, for that Halloween. So, and look at the bag she sends it in. It's like Happy Meal and Haul rolled into one. Yeah. So that was lots of fun. Lots of fun. But the highlight of the week has been an FFO, a fully finished object. And I'm not an FFO queen like some that you see on Flosstube. There's some that you just go, holy moly. I mean, it almost is like a ping pong game between Java Girl Stitches and SamBrie Stitches on their finishes. I mean, it's crazy. Me, I'm not so good at it. And I'm pretty basic, you know. And so, but I need to get this done because I was finishing it as a birthday gift for a friend of mine. And I bought this little standing clipboard that has burlap, as you shall see. And then I did like a flat fold, and look at how cute that is. Isn't that cute? And I don't even remember where I got this little clipboard. It was either at Joann's or Crafter's Warehouse. But I just did a basic flat fold and then just clipped it on the top. And I'm kind of proud of myself. Aren't you proud of me? Wally, give an opinion here. I'm pretty cool, aren't I? Yeah, you better not say, I'll unplug you if you say anything nasty. Okay, where am I now? You hear a big sigh. I have a friend from high school. Danielle, you know who you are, who challenged me to stitch an hour a day on the Korean Peeps. I have not touched the Korean Peeps since the beginning of the month. Yeah, not since the beginning of the month. And I thought, I can do an hour. Yeah, I'm going to do an hour a day. So yesterday, I pulled it out, and my hour on Zoom consisted of the feet of the little boy. Yeah, but it felt good, and I think I'm gonna keep up with it. So thank you, Danielle, for poking me. And I have to say that Zoom yesterday was just lots of fun. It's not a perfect world, you know. In a perfect world, everybody would be sitting around my table in the beehive stitching, but it was fun, and I get a lot of inspiration and laughter, and I'm actually, one of the gals, Lynn, actually has me thinking about a stitching frame, because I have some bigger samplers that I'm a stitch in hand kind of person, and if I do say so myself, I do fairly well stitching in hand, and I think it comes from all the years of stitching wool or embroidery and just knowing your tension. So stitching in hand, I have no cramping in my hands, my thumb doesn't hurt, my wrist, my arm, you know, there's no, but when I'm holding a Q-snap, like I have one project out of all my projects in a Q-snap. When I'm holding the Q-snap, I seem to be gripping it tighter, I guess. So I thought it might be kind of fun to have a little stand that and maybe I could learn that technique of two-handed stitching. I don't know. What can I say? I'm stuck inside. The air quality is like 476. My brain isn't firing on all the brain cells. I'm sure that I have toxic smoke everywhere. And so why not buy a frame? I mean, that makes total sense to me, right? I wish, please rain this week. So before I go, I thought I would talk about my latest project, which is the hashtag Jen's Coffee Obsessed Sal. I love that project. I just love that project. I love it on so many different levels. First of all, a friend reached out and said, hey, we both have this chart. Do you want to start it? And she must have hit me right at the right moment, because I said, yeah, whatever. I would love to. And secondly, it was on 40 count. I had it kitted up for 40 count. Well, when you stitch on 40 count every day, you see 40 count better. The problem is that when you switch around and your little telescope in there goes from 14 count or 28 or 32 count and then goes to 40, it's like, what the heck? But when you're stitching on 40 count every day, wow, it's amazing. It's amazing. I can actually hear my eyeball going, you know. So I've been obsessed with it. I have been obsessed, and maybe because the word obsessed is in the actual project. But the other reason, so now we have a great start with a good friend, 40 count, and for whatever reason, it started opening up possibilities. And so if you look at the way it's charted, I was not too keen on this butterfly. I don't know. I just wasn't. I don't have anything against butterflies. I think they're beautiful, but I'm a bee person. And so I said, why do I have to put that butterfly there? I'm going to put 2 bees, one on each side. So I did. So I've got 2 bees going on each side, one on each side. And then day before yesterday, G and I were watching television. We were watching some more people get murdered on Midsummer Murders. I think they were only up to 3, that show, and so I was bored. And I asked G, I said, look at this chart, and do you think I need to put those coffee beans in my chart? Well, he didn't say they looked like coffee beans. Let me just say that. Yeah, he said, they don't really add anything in my opinion. And I thought, yeah, I don't think they do anything for me either. And they remind me of something else. Let your imagination go. So I decided to leave them out. And so there's no big, almost said it, there's no big coffee beans in my chart. And I like it better. And so I think that's the thing, that this chart has really made me take another leap, is that I can make the chart my own. And I do that in my wool stitching, but I tend to, stick to the fabric, stick to the thread, stick to whatever the designer said. But for whatever reason, this chart, which I love, by Lila Studios, has opened up possibilities for me. And maybe because there's no other possibilities in my world this last week but the walls of my house, and there's no traveling other than walking that way or this way, the possibilities on this chart were so engaging. They were just so engaging. What can I say? So I guess my message here is, sometimes when you're in a physical rut, it doesn't mean you have to be in a mental rut. Yeah. No one's the boss of you. No one's the boss of me, right, Holly? Well, I hope you have a great day. I hope your air is clear. I'm praying for my rain. I'm praying for all of the people who have lost so much in the fires and the hurricanes. I mean, that hurricane footage, holy moly. We all need a break. We do need a break. And so I'm hoping you're staying safe. I hope your family's safe. And know that we're going to help each other get along. Yeah. So you take care, and we'll see you on the next video.